it's after a long time I'm coming to you to present. But we have always had very high regards for your organization, and I think a couple of times we also participated in the exhibitions organized by Lagodya Bharti and IMS Foundation, particularly when they were conducted in Bangalore. I had the pleasure of working with your honorary secretary, Mr. Bhojrajji, who has been kind enough to, many times when we have inquiries, trade inquiries, business inquiries, particularly in last 1 year, due to pandemic, all our trade missions are happening, virtual trade missions. And Mr. Bhojrajji has assisted us, and he knows the members so well that appropriately he has connected us with the members. So both the parties have been benefited from various state governments of USA that we are representing. I am particularly grateful, and we feel honored that you have selected us. And I'm glad to during this International MSME Week, and we feel privileged to present business opportunities in the state of Pennsylvania. I'm glad to mention that state of Pennsylvania is the first state of US to open a trade and investment office, independent office in India way back in 2001. And glad to mention again that this office is in Bangalore. Nowadays, in last 10 years, lot of other states of USA have opened offices, or they have a representation in India, but that is mainly for investment attraction, whereas the portfolio of our office, under trade, we have all Pennsylvania is a very diverse economy. So we have from powder metallurgy to hardwoods, and to something in the aerospace and defense and chemical technology, biotechnology, life sciences. So Pennsylvania is really diverse economy, and that is so good for from the Indian point of view also, because when we want to look at opportunities in India, in 2001, when our office was established, hardly anybody knew about opportunities in India available. The only big companies knew what India offers, and they already had a presence in India. But small and medium companies were not aware about the opportunities. So one of my main job at that time was to whenever our head office organized visits almost every quarter in the first year, visit different regions of the state and tell them what India can offer, because at that time everybody was looking at China, and they didn't know what India offers and what are the benefits of working with Indian companies. Starting from a small thing like we are the largest democracy, and it matters a lot when we do business with a company which is in a democratic country rather than in a communist country. Similarly, also the language of communication. Though India has 24 official languages, business language is well accepted. English as a business language is very well accepted throughout the India. So when I used to cite these advantages, and also the availability of technical and skilled manpower, and a strong presence of small and medium sector, because small and medium sector is a backbone of Indian economy. And if you look at Pennsylvania, Supriya will tell in an elaborate way, Pennsylvania also has a strong small and medium sized company sectors. Per year, we assist about 100 Pennsylvania companies which are interested in Indian market, and that comes under our trade portfolio. Under the trade portfolio, we are assisting PA companies who are that are looking at Indian market to export their products, or to have, I would say, technology partner, or to transfer their technology, or do some licensing agreements with Indian partners. So that is covered under trade. But we have also a lot of Indian companies lately, particularly in last 10-12 years. They are looking to invest in overseas, and they are looking at Pennsylvania, because again on the northeast coast of USA. Pennsylvania has a very prominent location, very accessible to New York, which is a financial center, and Washington D.C., which is a regulatory body. So we often get a lot of inquiries. So our office gave a special focus for us to attract Indian investment. Um, Earlier, only big companies thought that they need to explore in the international market, but particularly in last 3 to 4 years, and Supriya will explain in more detail, we have received more number of projects or inquiries from small companies or even startups. Last 18 months, we have worked with so many startup companies. These are all tech startups. So during the course of today's discussion, and I particularly would like to interact more with you, and I have kept 2 3 slides, the kind of questions we have, how we could assist. It all depends on what you want to sell or what you want to introduce in the international market, and I will talk about Pennsylvania. Without making much introduction, I would quickly run through. We intend to cover these topics, and please feel free to raise questions or tell us in the chat box. If you do not want to know any of these, I can cut short or just flip through these. We want to tell a little bit about our international business development program, because under that only we can assist you.
Yes.
This is supported by the state of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's economy, then the strategic location, the industry sectors, and when you are looking at so many states are there and which one to pick up, then we tell you that this is the cost comparison if you want to consider. We will highlight a couple of industry sectors. Supriya will also tell about which are the Indian companies who have made Pennsylvania as their home, and again what services we offer to Indian companies who are looking to invest or establish presence in the state of Pennsylvania. Last 2 slides I have kept for interaction, and I have a couple of questions for the participants. So the more you respond, I'll be able to give my views and ideas, and I think we could discuss and think of a plan or a solution so that this discussion doesn't stop with this meeting, but our presence is there in Bangalore, so we are fortunate to interact. But going forward in the next couple of months, we can revisit, and those companies who have done some work and they would like our assistance, so we can have a round table or such for the next steps. So Supriya, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So as Sushama mentioned, Pennsylvania has the largest international business development program of any state. Out of the 50 states in United States, Pennsylvania's program is the largest, and also it is the oldest. Not only in India, but some of our offices in Mexico and Canada are more than 30 years old. So Pennsylvania is well known for its international business development program and for supporting companies to go global. We have currently 11 trade offices which cover more than 44 countries. Because some of the offices in Europe cover more than one country. In India also, although of course the Indian Republic is large enough, our focus is Indian market, but on case by case basis, we do support Pennsylvania companies in our neighboring states like Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal. Not so much in Pakistan, but a couple of times, like for example, the hardwood industry is very famous. So, I mean, the hardwood requirement from Pakistan is there. So, we do interact with some of the companies, wood companies in Pakistan. For investment attraction, there are currently 7 states, 7 offices. And in India, of course, our office takes care of both trade as well as investment. And we see that the Indian investment in Pennsylvania, you would see, in fact, in the next couple of slides, how it is growing. As Sushama mentioned, Pennsylvania has a very robust economy. If you treat Pennsylvania as an independent nation and compare it as independent entity and compare it with other states, you would see that it is the 18th largest economy in the world. So it is ahead of several nations. And the beauty of Pennsylvania's economy is that it is very diverse. Many times, not only the states but even the countries are largely dependent on one industry sector, and that makes them vulnerable if there is a cyclical downside in that particular industry. So, being a diverse economy, Pennsylvania is really very fortunate. In fact, 2019, the Bloomberg research numbered Pennsylvania as number one amongst the 50 US states as the most diverse economy amongst these 50 states. Sushama briefly talked about the location. You would see that Pennsylvania is many times called as a Keystone state. The size and the shape of Pennsylvania is like a keystone. So, in fact, it is the foundation stone of American independence, because many of you would know that the Charter of Independence was signed in Philadelphia. And Philadelphia was the first capital, but of course, due to the Civil War, the capital was moved to Washington later on. Harrisburg is the state capital. And if you see the radius of about 800 kilometers, 40% of the US population and 60% of the Canadian population, in terms of purchasing purchasing parity, that you can reach within 24 hours. So if you are located anywhere or around in and around Harrisburg, you can reach to a sizable your customer base or sizable population that you are trying to reach in North American market.
And they are in the within 24 hours drive. Actually.
Yes, yeah. Of course, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh are the two major cities or metropolis that are very dynamic, and I'm going to compare, in fact, the cost of living and how the life is thriving in these two cities vis-a-vis several other cities in United States. We have a very well developed infrastructure in terms of logistics. There are 6 international airports. The whole state is very well connected through railroads. Railroads are especially important in United States if you are looking at carrying your goods from either from port to the I would say the customer locations, or vice versa. Pennsylvania also has 3 well-developed ports: the Port of Philadelphia, the inland port of Pittsburgh, and the Great Lakes. In fact, if you cross the Great Lakes or the Lake of Erie, you are in Canada. So we share our border with Canada. And also the Port of Philadelphia gives companies access to Atlantic Ocean. Pittsburgh gives access to the Gulf of Mexico. So the ports are strategically located and they provide huge access for companies that are moving goods through, I would say, maritime logistics. Now here, if you look at Philadelphia, I just referred to the Charter of Independence, but Philadelphia is a thriving city. It is known for its educational institutes. I think there are more than 100 universities and colleges in Philadelphia alone. So the minute you land in Philadelphia, you see that it's a very vibrant city. It is full of, like, if you compare with Bangalore is a young city. So similarly, Philadelphia is also a very young city. It is also known
not by age but the population.
Yes. Yeah. Also, the whole greater Philadelphia area is a pharma hub. It's a pharma and biotech hub. the medical universities, University of Pennsylvania has the distinction of establishing the first hospital in United States, and lately Philadelphia is growing as a gene therapy capital. So there is tremendous research that's going on in gene therapy, and in fact, in my subsequent slides, you would see how the life science industry is growing in Philadelphia. Many of you are connected with, I would say, manufacturing and automation. So, Industry 4.0 would be of great interest to you. And I'm glad to mention that Philadelphia is integrating the Industry 4.0 technologies in the entire smart city initiative that the city is implementing currently. And the SMEs are also utilizing this opportunity of the initiative. Pittsburgh. In fact, as you land in Pittsburgh, you would see, of course, Pittsburgh is famous for Carnegie Mellon University or University of Pittsburgh, as well as the International Haynes Company is headquartered in Pittsburgh. But in recent years, Google, Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, Zoom, all have made Pittsburgh as their home. So you would see that it's a tech capital, and I think continuously in last 10 years Pittsburgh has been named as the most livable city in United States. Yeah. So Pittsburgh is becoming a tech capital. Of course, research universities are there. Also, UPMC, the University of Pittsburgh's medical school, is known for its medical education.
As well as a lot of research goes into that. We are proud to mention that to have a good, high quality, skilled workforce requires good educational institutions, and Pennsylvania boasts to have very strong research institutes, particularly in the field where Supriya mentioned just now, life sciences, and some of the robotics, some of the high tech stuff that is going on. We really need high-tech education institutions, and we do have here just a few top universities are mentioned, such as UPenn and UPIT, Lehigh University, Drexel University, Temple University. The best business school is Wharton Business School, and University of Pennsylvania, University of Pittsburgh. And there are a lot of research programs going on in these universities. I will take a moment and slightly do the diversion. Particularly if you have a product which has a lot of R&D going on, or you are doing some research and you feel at a stage I need some support. So we have assisted some companies, Indian companies, that they have done some research and they feel they want to do further research. The government of Pennsylvania have set up something called Keystone Innovation Zone. So there are a lot of incubation facilities within the university campus, and companies can be housed there. And a lot of international companies, they like to use the young talent and R&D facilities of the university and continue their research, by establishing another, they may have one research unit in India, but the additional research center in Pennsylvania, that we have assisted a couple of companies. So any of you, if you are interested in these kinds of things, then there are joint venture or partnership opportunities right on these KIZs.
Yeah.
We mentioned about the low cost of living. Actually, I would say comparatively low cost of living when you have access to the same facilities. We always say in Pennsylvania, live happy, work smart. So almost every locality has a golf course, and there are some or the other recreational facilities are there. And what is most important is that whether it's a sport or a music or a theater, it is affordable. The same, if you want to see the same show in New York at Broadway, the price is so huge. And when you see in Philadelphia, it is why it is so reasonable, because I think a couple of years ago, Pennsylvania's governor, I think during Ed Randall's Governor Ed Randall's initiative, before he became the governor, two times he was the mayor of Philadelphia, and they almost made this as their main motto, to have all kinds of best, whether it's in music or art or culture, everything, all events we could be able to host in the city of Philadelphia and accessible to all citizens. So city of Philadelphia has done a lot of work, which now all international businesses, they benefit. We have always found that the connections are also good among the seven northeast states. If you see from the top, Pennsylvania's cost of doing business is cheaper. Can you go to the next slide? Here it is immediately. You will see the all US average, and then, for example, Boston, way up on the north,
Boston,
is
New York City, of course, is skyrocketing.
And then you see it's within 1 hour drive. You are in Philadelphia, and what is the cost? So this may be beneficial. Many companies prefer to be in and around of Philadelphia, and they can still drive down to New York and come back,
absolutely,
to their spacious homes.
Exactly.
And because particularly northeast of Pennsylvania has such a scenic environment.
Yes.
And next slide. So, well, you will be surprised. Pennsylvania's biggest industry is agriculture, and you have heard of Hershey chocolates. In fact, amongst we are very good, very large milk producer, and we are number one in many things. All the snacks. It's called the snack capital of USA. Some of the leaders we have mentioned, some brands here, Kraft and Naus, Nissin. Also, or Antian pretzels. If you see in the commercial crops, we are number one in mushrooms. Apples, actually.
Pennsylvania apples are also very famous, but unfortunately, they are not available in India as yet. Though they are exported to
little
some
bit,
of
they
the
are exporting
European
because
countries.
they can consume within US itself.
Yes.
Very nice apples they have.
This Charles Ellis and Ahold, these two are into and also Nos Food. They are into apple syrups and apple jams and those kind of apple related products. Yes.
Next. Life sciences, I have mentioned couple of times how big is it is, and because Pennsylvania has done huge investments, way back, I think about 15 to 18 years ago, when there was a tobacco settlement. At that time, whatever the money the state received, they invested in creating these beautiful 3 greenhouses as incubators, and this has, plus there are a lot of R&D facilities. There are large pharmaceutical firms, and there is a big sector of medical device companies, as well as diagnostic companies. Milton report had mentioned, because many states a couple of years ago, they were trying to promote life sciences in a big way, and Milton report had mentioned that only those states would really thrive in life sciences, only those who fulfill certain key elements. And which are those key elements? Which I'm glad to mention that Pennsylvania has all those. One is that state of the art R&D facilities, large pharmaceuticals, as well as enabling environment, for the startup or companies which are in the R&D stage. Then there is a presence of medical device sector. In fact, if you look at Pennsylvania, the entire continuum of life sciences is there. And again, we have such large number of universities and colleges that offer courses in life sciences. In fact, we have the highest number of PhDs in the US with life science related degrees, PhDs. So we have good world class working workforce in life sciences, and that is one reason why Pennsylvania is very popular. Almost in the Philadelphia, which is in the right in the heart of biopharma corridor, attracts a lot of Indian companies for to explore, even startup companies to explore opportunities there. In manufacturing, we are now moving to gone are the days. In the second industrial revolution, of course, Pennsylvania played a big role, and now we are into the advanced manufacturing stage. And of course, Pennsylvania's vision and the kind of R&D that has gone on, and as Supriya mentioned about Industry 4.0, Pennsylvania is leading. This is one area where many Indian companies have opportunities to explore collaboration with the Pennsylvania-based companies.
Yes.
This is again, Pittsburgh is becoming very, very famous for its technological revolution, particularly in the field of robotics, some in life sciences also, and digital. There's a digital
health greenhouse.
Greenhouse.
Maybe some of you, because I know that LUB is also working very closely with startups, and there may be some startups in the audience. I would like to touch upon the Ben Franklin Technology Partners. This is an initiative launched by the state, as Sushama mentioned, way back, I think 20 years ago, with the resources that it received from the Tobacco Settlement Fund. And the Ben Franklin Tech Partners are particularly focused on supporting startups from commercialization of technology to actually helping you to enter the market. So, in fact, there are 4 Ben Franklin Tech Partner organizations spread, because the state is pretty large. So, one in the southeast, one in the southwest, another in the central part, and another in northeast. And each one of them works with startup businesses that have an innovative idea and are looking at growing the idea or the company to the next stage. In fact, Penn Engineering and Grasp Laboratory, which are also a part of the program called Pennovation, that's also particularly focused at startups. So Pennsylvania has, in fact, tremendous opportunities for companies that are looking at, North American market. Here, in fact, we have just showcased what kind of technology is the tech startups. So some of you who may be familiar with the autonomous vehicle industry, Argo AI is a big name. Bosch, of course, is known for that. Uber also. In fact, Uber's autonomous vehicle division is located in Pittsburgh. And the neighborhood 91 is a particular zone. The Sushma mentioned about the Keystone Innovation Zone. So neighborhood 91 is a Keystone zone, which is developed with the initiative of University of Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh International Airport. And the zone is focused on, I would say, additive manufacturing and 3D printing technologies. So companies that are looking at in this field, opportunities in this particular field, they have a huge possibility there. Energy, in fact, because of the Marshallese shale revolution, Pennsylvania has the largest, in fact, it's the 3rd largest energy producer in United States, and it has the 2nd largest deposits of Marshallese shale gas. Which in fact helps the manufacturing industry in a great deal, because that brings down the cost of manufacturing. In many industries, when we are interacting, they tell us that the energy cost is very high, and that kind of puts a lot of burden on our resources. But if a manufacturer is looking at setting up business where which is a energy intensive business in Pennsylvania, you don't have to worry because of the shale gas. You have access to cheap energy in Pennsylvania. Plastics. I mean, plastic is also energy intensive business, which because of the availability of cheap energy, it has grown. Plastic also, the medical device industry in Pennsylvania has grown so rapidly and is so well developed that many of the plastic industry is benefited because of the growth of medical device industry. So we are leading in the nation in terms of plastics as well. I just talked about the startups and the various programs which are supported by the state. So I would say there are various programs. I mean, we talked about the Keystone Innovation Zone. Similarly, for the manufacturing companies, there is a Keystone Opportunity Zone. We have grant. I mean, the grants and the programs are different. We have just mentioned here which are general programs. I would say there are research and development tax credits for a company that's deeply involved in a R&D. This is a good opportunity. There are also job training grants. Sometimes when you are employing new workforce, you require them to be trained. So companies can have access to the training grants which are available. I'm glad to mention that Pennsylvania and India have a very close connection. I mean, not only because of the office, which was set up way back in 2001, but you would see when we started, Pennsylvania's exports to India were maybe little around 100 million. But in 2019, they have reached more than 700 billion. So, I mean, the exports from Pennsylvania to India have been growing, also because of the tremendous opportunities in India. And similarly, the Indian investment in Pennsylvania has been growing. In fact, here I have just mentioned a few numbers. So you would see that India ranks number 17 amongst the FDI countries in Pennsylvania. And I'm glad to mention, because typically the general perception is that the Indian companies that are going to US are mainly IT and ITES and the technology companies. Of course, technology companies are there definitely, but we also have a significant manufacturing. I mean, Indian manufacturing. So if you see the companies that have employed the number of Pennsylvanians in India, I think we rank number 22nd. And the Indian companies have almost created 3,000 jobs in Pennsylvania. With a 12 million population, I think 3,000 jobs is a significant number. So entire state's population is 12 million, so as big as Bangalore. Here are some of the Indian companies that have presence. I'm sure you are familiar with many of these logos. Just to mention some of the big ones are Tata's and the United Phosphorus, which now is UPL, Wipro Infrastructure Engineering, Mindtech, Genpact. But I'm glad to mention that it's not just these large companies, which are though of Indian origin, are now multinationals, have presence in Pennsylvania. But we have closely worked with a small company like Jesco or a mid-sized company like Unilog, which in fact felt that Pennsylvania has the ecosystem to help them grow. In fact, Jesco came to Pennsylvania with just one person, and they were beneficiary of our F1 visa program, which is for J1 visa program, which is for innovators. And we have a innovation center in the East Stroudsburg University. So that's where JSCO is located. So we have worked with companies that are employing hundreds and thousands of people. At the same time, just one person, he decided to come and open up an office. So we have closely worked with them as well. Here are some of our services that we provide. Such as, I mean, on the right hand side, we have mentioned about helping companies to set up a US subsidiary, or the exact site selection, which is a key, because you are looking at a site which is when you are several thousands miles away from your homeland. Plus, we work very closely with companies to provide them customized assistance on several aspects. But please note that all this assistance is mainly as a facilitator. So like we help you making the right connections, and which helps or makes your task of navigating in a new market with ease. This joint venture program is kind of unique for Pennsylvania. In fact, none of the other states offer the joint venture program. And joint venture program, it was launched, in fact, just about maybe 2 or 3 years ago, because many times we have seen that the investors, when they are looking at the US market, they are not very sure that they will be able to make the investment totally on their own, and they, because of the different business culture, and they feel more comfortable to have a joint venture partner um, who is not only just located in United States, but who has the business culture knowledge, and who knows how to navigate in a market. So this program was launched, and we will be happy to talk to companies that are specifically interested in the JV program separately from this trip. This talks about international trade. In fact, we just mentioned about how Pennsylvania's trade or exports to India are growing. Similarly, Pennsylvania's exports to other markets, I mean, world over, are also growing very rapidly. I mean, interestingly, how this is judged, that every one in the 5 jobs in Pennsylvania are dependent on international trade. So that talks about the importance of international trade. So Pennsylvania's economy is just not dependent on the domestic consumption, but they export a lot. And interestingly, I mean, why it would be of interest for members of LUB is because the 89% of PA goods are exported by small and medium sized enterprises, which employ lesser than 500 people. Of course, the definition of a small and medium in United States and in India is different, but still, I mean, this is a significant number. It's not just large multinationals which run the economy, but we have a sizable SME sector in Pennsylvania. This, in fact, talks about the kind of products we are exporting. It's machinery, computers, electrical equipment, a lot of pharmaceuticals, also minerals, medical equipment, and devices. The top 5 export markets, of course, are the neighbors, Canada and Mexico, but China also, and UK and Japan. I think India would be the 14th or 17th.
Yeah, no, we have improved our rank.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, when we were exporting just 100 million to India, India was 22nd, 23rd, but now India is playing a good role.
Yeah. Yeah, so particularly with India, again, you would see, because we are strong in minerals, industrial machinery, also the aviation related products and parts. Pennsylvania is also very strong in photo optics. Plus, you will see the medical and surgical instruments and these kind of products, what Pennsylvania exports to India. And these are some of the products which are imported from India. In fact, Pennsylvania also is a big chemical hub. So a lot of organic chemicals are imported from India. They are imported to be processed and made into final product, which is again gets back
Either to India
exported
or some
or
other
some
countries.
other countries. Yes, pharmaceuticals, electrical machinery, apparel, and accessories. So these are some of the top five imports from India. These are our trade services. Of course, trade services are focused towards helping Pennsylvania companies in Indian market, but where will be opportunities for LUB members or Indian members, Indian companies? When we are looking for potential partners, the partners could be agent, distributor, or I would say a joint venture partner
Or a
or a
licensee.
licensee. So these are the opportunities for Indian companies when we are working with PA companies and helping them to enter the Indian market. Yeah.
And we will be happy to work closely with LUB, looking at your membership portfolio to share some of the inquiries and seek interest. Now, specifically, we are at the end of our, we have 7 minutes. Specifically, at the focusing on today's if we can get some insights from the members or any office bearers of LUB. Why any company is looking at the overseas market? One is to access new customers, or if your product requires some imports, then to have access to the raw materials. Or if you are looking for new technology, then you look at the overseas market. Some companies are also looking at overseas market for capital, because if you want to enhance your existing capacity and you want to produce more, maybe you want to have a foreign partner who would bring in some additional capital. There are companies who are also looking at exporting to overseas market because of foreign exchange. Foreign exchange they can utilize for importing something else. And last reason I have, this is my best guess, but you can tell better. I mean your real reasons that you fetch better price for your products when you export the product. Basically, when you have opportunities in the Indian market, because the Indian market is large enough, why would you look at overseas market? This is my guess that usually companies will look at the overseas market for these reasons. Couple of months ago, I happened to visit Kolhapur of that MIDC, on the outskirts of Kolhapur, and a lot of foundries are there. And we had one customer from North America. They wanted to buy certain products, so we were checking with these manufacturers. And when I asked, how are you exporting? None of them was exporting directly. They were exporting through someone. Then one company told us, we do not have to export. The products are going directly to US. We are getting PO from US, but we do not do anything. The company has a liaison office in India, and they just place order on us. And I thought that they are happy right now because the business is going great, because they are, without doing any effort, they are getting the order. I mean, effort in the international marketing, and they are busy supplying that. But just imagine if this liaison office finds another supplier or manufacturer in India, say from Punjab, if not from Kolhapur, and they decide to place order in the next time from there. What this Kolhapur-based company can do? Really nothing, because they have been exporting since last 6 years, but they do not have any knowledge of international market. They have not gone to many or even couple of buyers and presented their products. They only know that this liaison office comes and they say we want such quantity. They do like a high quality job, but they have not tried to secure what do I say, a good contact in the North America with directly with the customer, so that if another middleman comes or someone comes, they do not lose this big order. But this, if suppose this happens, this is a small, it is a small foundry, they may not be able to find such a big client again. So anyway, I had some personal connections there. One of my family was working in that company, and I explained to him there is a danger. So not right now everything is growing great, but going forward you may want to develop your own contacts. And that time I came across some problems faced by the small and medium companies, particularly if you want to do something on your own, like having to develop your international market. They do not have the resources, the expertise. The resource doesn't mean only finance, but you need the right kind of people who have the background of international marketing, and they should be willing to work with this company. And I gave them some ideas perhaps, and which I would like to share with you today. Supriya, what's on the second slide?
Yeah.
Okay, I will give those ideas, but let me just not get too much diverted. But only when you have something unique to offer to the international market, particularly when you are looking at exploring opportunities with developed countries, you have to find whether my product is innovative, or my there is another technical process is innovative, or what is that? Am I providing some value addition services? What is that makes my product more attractive to the customers in foreign market? I would not go so much about the cost. Of course there will be some cost difference, but we should not be recognized here. I'm not promoting Pennsylvania. I'm talking from your point of view, Indian SME, MSME point of view. Sorry, when I refer MSME, SME is small and medium. Yes. MSME is micro, small and medium. Yeah. I'm not sure micro whether they are looking at exploring overseas opportunities. But when I think from your point of view, I realize one company, small and medium company, cannot really have the resources to utilize services of international either consultants or marketing specialists. So how what they can do? I want to share the example of Pennsylvania. As Supriya mentioned, 89% of our this thing exports are by our small and medium companies, and we assist majority of 90% of our services are utilized by small and medium companies. And I will share that example, and I want to compliment LUB for doing a great work in this regard. But if you would like to start something specifically focusing on international market, you may also develop some programs which are developed by US Small Business Administration, and there is again guidance is given to exporters how to enter the international market, and then the services of offices such as us are available to them free of charge. That means Pennsylvania companies. Yeah. In your case, you can check if the Indian High Commissions abroad, if they can share some insights and inputs. But if you particularly want to promote your company, perhaps 4 or 5 of SMEs can come together which have common interest, and they can hire one international consultant to develop business in a particular market. And something like that happens, then the burden is not on one company, and also for the consultant, then this group becomes like an interesting client. Otherwise they won't be interested to consulting a small SME. Yeah. I'm talking about, for example, you want to do something in US and you are looking for a business consultant there. To attract his attention, you should have enough business. Like, so if five companies come together and hire a international consultant, he will be able to generate some business for you. We want to know particularly what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. And when I say of strength, for example, have you developed any product? We have worked in last 18 months. We have worked with lot of and interacted with lot of tech startup companies in India. At least 100 companies we would have interacted, and we know what they are doing, we know where we can assist them, and we have guided so many companies in fact. And
in fact, Pennsylvania also has some very interesting, I would say, like incubators. They offer the challenge. So, for example, Comcast, which is the leader in communications, is their North American headquarters
is in
located in Philadelphia. So Comcast runs a incubator called Comcast Lift Labs, and they are focused on 5 interesting areas which are of interest to Comcast. For example, the artificial intelligence, entertainment and media and things like that. So they have a contest in which they invite applications
international. Even if your company is not located in Pennsylvania, no problem, you can apply. We assisted so many companies in applying. Once you apply, if you get selected, really, you not only they are giving you grant.
Nice, $50,000.
Two of the Indian students, and I think one Pakistani and one Indian. One Indian, one Pakistani, and the third one?
Two Indians.
Two Indians and one Pakistani student studying at Drexel University just a couple of years ago. They participated in such contest. They won, first prize was $2,000. Then they again participated in another contest, and now they have the company is doing well. They were covered under startup 30 under 30.
Yes.
So imagine, and their company has got some $500,000
through these different awards.
Can you imagine? This is huge. The kids he was in the second year. Now he completed graduation. So there are opportunities, even if you are not located there. But once you get accepted or selected, then you need to be located in that incubator. But you have resources at that time. You could do that. One more interesting fact I want to share. 2 months ago, we conducted a program with Bangalore Chamber of Industry and Commerce and Amrita TBI, Tech Business Accelerator webinar. And we had invited the head of Science Center. And at that time, they said that even if the companies are not located in US, but he offered a soft landing option, which is like being in the scientific community or business community in the heart of the Philadelphia, located in the Science Center, so that you have access to again investors and everything that is required to grow your business is there, with a very small fee they had charged. And which they launched only during this pandemic, because companies are not able to travel. And many of our startup companies that we had interacted with, they showed interest, and they are going to apply for that. The point what I'm trying to mention is, once I know what is your area of interest, I mean, we cannot be your sales arm, as Supriya mentioned, but we can assist you in facilitating or navigating, or even telling you this is what we can't do, but this is what someone will be able to assist you, or this is your homework. For example, I can tell you that you need to do a business plan when you are looking at the international market. I won't be able to write a business plan for you, but if you want to do that, I can provide you. Perhaps we have come up with entrepreneur's guide.
Yes.
I'll be able to share that guide with you, so you know how a business plan is written, particularly how I can go to the next level. So we'll be happy to assist you in that case. But we would love to know from you exactly where, how, and for what reason you want to explore the overseas opportunities. The reason I say what reason means if it is only for customer, then there is a different suggestion. If you want to, for example, have a base, and let us take example that you decided to be located near Philadelphia, so that you can cater to all your clients in North America, means Canada and US. You will cover from that if that is your idea. So if you tell us what is that you are looking for. Some companies are importing raw materials, and 4 weeks ago, actually, last month, in June, end of June, US government had launched a very big, I think this is fifth or sixth edition of Select USA. And we met, this was virtual this year, we met one Indian company from Ahmedabad. They said, we have been importing, it's his father's business, such and such chemical from US. But now I want to have an office and a warehouse, and I want to make sure that we sources ourselves. Now somebody else is the importer and they buy from the importer. They do not have contact who is the manufacturer in US. So he asked us, do you have any manufacturers of this and this product in Pennsylvania? If yes, I would like to meet with them, and we would like arrange his meeting, because ultimate aim is that he is going to be located in Pennsylvania. So we can assist in various ways.
Yes.
Once we know what are your requirements, we have exceeded our time.
Yes.
Sincere apologies, but thank you for giving us a patient hearing. And if there are any questions, Supriya and I are happy to answer.
Yes.
If you want to ask questions after the session, like if you go back, and then feel free to send emails to us, and we'll be happy to reply as well.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for the presentation. The floor is open. Before I open it, there are two questions already keyed, ma'am. One is from Mr. Vaman Kulkarni. He's from Hexatronics Automation. His question is, they are a tech startup from Davangere district. They are looking for business opportunities overseas. Basically, they manufacture IoT devices and currently looking for opportunities in defense. Is there any opportunity for them in the US, ma'am?
Oh, for defense?
Yes, ma'am.
Because defense in any country, it's a very tightly guarded area. And of course, US defense being one of the strong ones also. So we will have to first look at the kind of device. Regulatory aspect is very, very important if you are looking at, defense, medical device, all these. And so we'll have to first look at what kind of IoT product you are offering. And I think then we will be able to comment better. But I would say that the direct opportunities may come a little later, but you may like to be a part of the supply chain, which will, in terms of the regulatory requirements, there may be probably some relaxation there. So maybe you could send us an email, or we can.
Similarly, Indian companies, Indian defense cannot import any products. Particularly, there
in fact, with these two lists that they have come up with.
This year in May, the government came up with a list, and last year also there was a list. So if you look at those lists, you have to manufacture those in India. But if somebody has a better technology, they can set up a joint venture in India and do it. Similarly, we'll have to see if your technology is new. We'll have to see if American company is willing to partner with you to produce it in US. Usually for any country, for certain products, it will be like this. And certain products will be bought by the government itself. They will be different.
Yeah.
They will be different. But nevertheless, we can interact. You send us some information, and I'll see what we can at least find out what is the scope, and we will let you know.
There is a supplementary question, ma'am, from Mr. Vaman, Hexatronics. We want technology transfer for manufacturing ICs.
So you want it to be manufactured here in India?
Is that correct?
Mr. Vaman, can you come online? Exotronics,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Bami.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Namaskar, sir.
Namaste.
I just wanted to know whether we can be able to manufacture semiconductors in India. Actually, we are suffering from ICs, supply of ICs,
Mhm.
and if this facility is available in India, we can move ahead in time.
So you want
That,
American company to, like a Pennsylvania company, willing to give technology to you? Is that your question?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Of course.
Okay. Okay.
Again, we will do the search and tell you if it is not available in Pennsylvania. I will see from our
Yes.
amongst our other clients if it is available, and we get. But
Okay.
I'll be happy to have detailed email from you.
Yes.
Supriya has
Yeah.
shared our email.
I
Have you
hope.
already shared with LUB and they will
Yes.
forward to
Yes.
us?
Absolutely. We will
Yes, ma'am.
look at what exactly the semiconductor product and go back to Pennsylvania companies and take their interest and come back to you.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
And your manufacturing will be near Davangere.
Ah, yes, ma'am. Of course.
Okay, great.
Thank you,
Uh,
ma'am.
there's another question from T.N. Guri. Is manufacturing his company's XTS vulcanizing equipment. His question is, he's a manufacturer of conveyor belt vulcanizing machines, which is basically used in all wherever conveyors are used. He's also looking for US based kind of setup now. He's also from India.
Are you looking to set up in US? This
Or you are looking at
exporting to US?
exporting to US.
He's basically want to sell products there now.
Oh, okay. Sell products there. Yes. In terms of selling, we would suggest that um, maybe the consulates in New York or Chicago. I mean, if you go to the Indian Embassy's website, you would see the consulates which are listed
Our
there.
office basically
Yeah.
doesn't support because we, frankly speaking, we are run by the US, for example, state of Pennsylvania's resources. So I'm accountable to every penny spent here. So our assistance is going when the inquiry comes from Pennsylvania company wanting to export. If they want to procure something, we can like directly they can't assist us, but we will keep your profile in our database and we can directly you can communicate. We'll share the name, but
Yeah.
our office cannot play a major role in those. But as a courtesy, we'll be happy to keep your company profile in our inquiries and. But this is we can't do it proactively, but we can help you because of the number of companies that we interact with.
Mhm.
If we feel, we will definitely pass on your company profile to them.
Yeah.
Mr. T.N. Gudi, would you want to supplement the question? Please come online. Any other supplementary question you have? Mr. T.N. Gudi? Okay, the floor is open now. Anybody can come and ask the question, please.
Yes, I am Narayan Prasanna, General Secretary of LUB-K Bharati.
Mhm.
Madam, it was a very nice presentation about geographical position, business segments, and economical aspects of Pennsylvania and Philadelphia region of USA. Thanks for the presentation for both Supriya and Sushama.
Yeah, our pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah. Madam, what are the opportunities for contract manufacturing in engineering, component manufacturing as well as sub-assemblies, like OEM supplies? Any opportunities in those regions?
There are opportunities, but we'll have to explore. As I said, perhaps because this any contract manufacturing requires even to connect you with the right kind of a buyer requires lot amount of time and resources in screening and the communicating with the right people. So it is not covered under the services that we provide, but since we know your company well, Whenever we have any inquiries coming directly to us, we will be glad to reach out to you. On the alternatively, you can also 4 or 5 companies coming together if you want to hire one resource in the US, whose job will be to look for opportunities for your companies and send those almost like a semi orders
Yes.
for code purpose. That is one option, I guess, but you will have to work on it. I can only give idea. I don't have much. I don't have much to
Okay,
share in
okay.
that at this
Understood,
juncture.
understood. Yeah. Meanwhile, any chances for MSMEs in technology tie-ups in engineering companies? I think with this only, in this method only, we need to do.
Yes.
Yeah, and also sometimes in Pennsylvania companies or American companies, when they are looking to Indian market, some specifically say that we want to give licensee and to Indian companies. We do receive. Last year we had couple of inquiries, so
Yeah.
we do receive. Our
Right,
fiscal
yes.
year has just begun from 1st July.
Yes.
So let us hope in the coming year we have more inquiries
On
for
that, yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank
which
you.
we can share to your members.
Sure, sure.
Mr. Suresh Iyer, you have raised your hand. Please go ahead with the question. Mr. Suresh Iyer. Yeah, Mr. TNB, please go ahead.
Yeah. As you mentioned that you are only Pennsylvania, your team is only part of selling products from Pennsylvania to other countries. Am I right? Did I hear it properly? When you're
Well, yeah, no, not exactly selling products from Pennsylvania, but our assistance goes to those companies who are looking at exporting. So yes, they are looking at selling into India, but we help in terms of not the direct sales, but helping them in preparing strategies. We help them in identifying
Okay.
partners. Yes.
Okay. Now that, madam, when you mentioned this, since I manufacture this particular product that goes into conveyor industry. So when
Yeah.
I say conveyor industry, it's all steel plants, power plants, cement industries, fertilizer units, chemical industries, ports, etc.
Mhm.
I do have a plan to manufacture adhesives that go into vulcanizing of these products.
Mhm.
There are some good American companies who do manufacture these products. Will these companies have tie-up, or will they be interested in having a JV sort of thing that we can work together and make the market bigger? Because there are very few American companies in this field in our country.
And if you know, yeah, do you already know these companies?
I was working for one of a company based out of Neponset, Illinois state,
Okay.
but a different product line.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
And
there
any
are,
of these companies are located in Pennsylvania?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, you will have to
Quantitech,
then, yeah,
yeah,
then I would suggest, because since you are in that industry,
yeah,
maybe you could look for the bigger players, which you already know that they are the players, and you look for their headquarter location. And if any of them are in Pennsylvania,
We can reach out to
we
them
can
and
reach
check
out
their
to them and check their interest. Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Can we have your contact details, madam?
Yeah,
We'll
I
share
thought,
it, sir.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
It's in the slide.
Yeah, it was in the slide, but
Acha,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
We just share.
We'll share it.
I'll
to you.
just share. Yes, I'll share that. This with this Google Meet, there is a, there is a, yeah. Let me, because either it is, yeah. Let me just go back here.
Mr. Goody, we will share it to you.
Great. Thank you.
Can you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
We can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it there.
Yes.
Is there any questions? Please go ahead. Please go and ask. The floor is open.
Hello,
Mr.
Shekhar, you can hear me?
Yeah, please go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, both of you. It was a very excellent presentation. I had a parallel webinar, so I could come in late. My question is like this: there are many American companies who are in engineering and who may be producing goods there, which is with American labor costs. And many of them may or may not be aware of the advantages that India offers in terms of manufacturing the same products in India. So can we have some companies which can say, yes, we will have a go at it, submit some of their products to Indian companies through LUB-K, and we manufacture prototypes of that and give it to them back. If they find that it is feasible, then they can place bulk orders. So this is one what you call investigative and what you call trial run basis project which we can work with. So you can pick up, say, let's say 5-6 companies who are interested in this project, which you said, let 5 companies in India come together. I will say let 5 to 10 companies from your end also come together and say these are the products which we want, and let them come to LUB-K and give it. Our team here will find out which are the companies who want to manufacture that and give it to them as a prototype. If the prototype is approved and what is the volumes, we can check, and then we can submit it back to the US with the best cost. And obviously the cost will be cheaper.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
definitely. This can be done if it is a voluntary organization or a
Yes.
chamber of commerce. Ours is a state office, so we cannot ask companies or promote.
I
We have
would
a specific mandate.
mandate,
So
yes.
Can you
companies
help me
give
with some,
this
say,
from their-
can you help me with some 10 companies? I will write to them and
No,
get
no,
to.
that is true, but we can't because
My work is like this. See, we
yeah.
have 10 economic zones in Pennsylvania. We
Okay.
have a very strong CRM, and the network, regional network partner is in touch with the PA-based company. For example, Pittsburgh will be covered by Southwest Pennsylvania Planning Commission. So that company reaches the export manager there, or what is that, international executive, international trade executive, and then they interact. They see that this company is ready for export or whatever to use, to be eligible to use the services of Pennsylvania's India office. Then they create a work order. The work order goes into CRM. Within 24 hours, because of the time difference they have given, I read. If I feel they have an opportunity, I accept the work order and I start the work. I do not directly go to the companies, which is a very, very professionally managed program, for the simple reason we are accountable for every penny spent, how much we are bringing results.
Yes, and also because
What you are saying is possible if it is a organization or association like some chambers
Similar
of
like,
commerce, similar like LUB
LUB,
on the other side, and they decide collectively that 5 members are going to outsource or do contract manufacturing from Bangalore based companies. Then they will come to us. Going diverting slightly, I will give we are also representing one more state of USA, and of course all state governments will have the same mandate, but we found one or association there which is not there in Pennsylvania. Through that association, 1 or 2 companies said we want to import certain things from India, and as you mentioned, exactly like that. So they will get. We made introductions, but not as a group. Individual companies said, please connect us with 10 companies from India, and I'm glad to mention that 2-3 companies from LUB-K Bharati also interacted with them. Commercial discussions we don't get into, and they are interacting. So if you provide your specifications, but again, I cannot go proactively. But I keep my ears and eyes open. If I feel this is the right, I'll be glad to. But it is at my personal capacity. I really cannot say this.
Okay.
I can do under Pennsylvania office or other. But looking at everybody's interest, I would like to reach out to office bearers of LUB-K Bharati. As Mr. Shekhar introduced us, we are, me and Supriya, we are a part of a large international consulting organization. This is the Association of Private Consultants. I can check in my group. There are 2-3 partners from North America. If they would be interested in working with such, companies who would like to get certain goods manufactured in India, because right now there are good opportunities, I must say, simply because since last 1.5 year or 2 years, the kind of trade war which is going on between US and China, we must
Correct.
think as Indian companies, we can take advantage of that, and this is the right time to enter US market, particularly for showing the high quality engineering and so many other positive aspects about getting goods
So
manufactured in India. In my personal capacity, I'll be happy to introduce, and if required, I'll be happy to organize a seminar with two eminent attorneys who have worked for more than 20 years. They were working with China before this whole pandemic happened, and
One of them had a company
one
also
of
in
them
China.
had a company in China. So they are very keen to invite Indian companies to come to US, particularly connect with some of the buyers or large manufacturers, saying that we will do part of that here, because they see a lot of opportunities in India, much better, cleaner, open communication. And I will discuss with your office bearers separately, and if there is an interest, I'll be happy in my personal capacity to make connections. And it gives me pleasure as being an Indian to help Indian companies to grow bigger, greater. I'll be happy to do that. But under Pennsylvania, I do not really have any scope to assist you, except when companies reach out to me.
Like
And
when the
definitely,
request comes from Pennsylvania, we will come to you.
yeah, it is.
So
I won't be able to take
I'll
it.
clarify the requirement in 4 parts. Very easy for you to understand.
No, no,
Any
me
any new
understanding
company,
doesn't.
any new
Sorry, you can
company,
explain.
any new company that comes to you seeking that sort of a thing for engineering, that's one part. The other, as you rightly said, the China thing factor coming in. Those who are doing with China, they want looking for alternate. That's another possibility. Those who are already running but no background with China, no interaction with China or India, they're just running in America already. For them, we can offer an alternative. And this is the areas, 3-4 areas where we can talk to companies, which is what I would like to discuss with you in future.
Sure, sure.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Can we take one last question, please?
Yeah. Good evening, Supriya and Sushma. It was very, very interesting and informative session.
Yeah, good evening, Hemaji.
Yeah, how are
Thank you
you?
so much.
Yeah. So my question was, are there any prospects for immunity boosters, especially Ayurvedic? I just wanted to know about that.
As such, alternate medicinal therapies and Ayurveda is gaining popularity in all Western countries, and I know personally a lot of Indian companies which are exporting there, but I have seen that they have set up their own offices. 2-3
Mm-hmm.
examples I can give you from Bombay or even Kerala Ayurveda. They have
Yes.
Right.
Maharishi,
Himalaya, yeah.
Himalaya
Maharishi, yeah.
Drugs, Maharishi, Chandu. Most of the companies which are exporting or have been exporting,
Mm-hmm.
they have, some of them have even manufacturing facilities in US. Um, the
Oh,
Ayurveda is gaining huge popularity. Yes.
oh, that's great, great. Okay, okay. So I'll take this question further offline. I
Sure.
have some questions in mind. Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
sure. Happy
Absolutely.
to assist.
Thank you so much. It was a great presentation.
Yeah,
Pleasure.
glad.
Can we take one last question before we close?
Sure.
Anybody from the participants? Can we take one last question?
Yeah, I'm Srinath this side. Just a question
Yeah, please,
to
Srinath. Go ahead.
either Supriya or Sushma. See, we are setting up a dehydrated food manufacturing unit in Bangalore. We would like to know the prospects of the US companies looking to outsource the work to India. So, what are the steps you think should we first become members of Pennsylvania, the trade union.
Where is
trade
your
body.
plant
In India, where is your plant? Your
It's
voice.
in Dodbalapura industrial area.
Dodbalapur. Okay.
Are you already exporting something?
We are doing through a contract manufacturer
Okay.
to basically to San Francisco. But here that's mostly on the trading. That's a white label product. Here we are putting a dehydrated food manufacturing plant where we'll make ready to eat foods, dehydrated fruits, vegetables, and stuff like that. So we were looking at multiple ideas to enter the US market. The one thing which was told to us is we can be a contract manufacturer to US food brands. Okay.
Yes.
So we produce for them, and that becomes easy to get there. So we just wanted your idea.
Yeah,
how to
food again regulatory is very, very
high. Yes, just
high.
like medical.
No problem. But what I realize is that we really have to, because I do not have any offhand inquiries in this, but does your plant take care of milk products?
No.
No.
These are cereals and grains, fruits and vegetables, herbs, medicinal plants. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you could send across the profile to us,
Right.
because if it was milk related or food related, a couple of years ago we had one inquiry. We could have revived that probably, but maybe if you send across the profile, we can have a closer
And
look and
also
see.
your who
Certifications.
are your existing customers? International. Do you have any international customers?
No,
or you are
they do
building?
it through. They do it through someone. You don't have a direct international customer. Is that correct?
No, right now we don't have. We are giving it to a export house. The export house is sending it to US and UK. But
okay.
right now we will have a customer in Canada, in Toronto. There is a direct customer who will be taking from us. Now, actually, we were a bit. We went. There are multiple states in US, right? So
yeah.
We wanted to.
I'm not getting.
Actually, your sound is going like we are not able to hear.
We are not able to hear you, Mr. Shekhar. Can you repeat? I haven't got the whole question.
Mr. Srinath, can you hold your mouthpiece closer to you, please?
Yeah. Is it better now?
Hello? Yeah, it's better now. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So my question was, I think there are 50 states in US, right? So which would be a better state to start? I mean, is it Pennsylvania or California?
Well,
as Pennsylvania's representatives,
I have to say Pennsylvania. But I'm not that type. I will depend.
Actually, it depends on the product and what you are looking for. Yes.
Suppose you want to do something in textile, I wouldn't invite you to Pennsylvania. I would say you can go. If you are in pharma, I'll say yes. If you are in food processing, I will say yes, come here. IT,
great.
Digital. So depends. But usually when I'm promoting Pennsylvania, I should talk. But me and Supriya,
no, if
we don't promote just like that.
Yes, if it is a viable.
See, I have a simple. This is the philosophy of our state government as well. You as a businessman, you should know which is the best business for you. If you take a decision to come to Pennsylvania, we will support you to grow your business. But what should be that business and what should be your business strategy? Definitely that is your business decision. But many times we have done research and told the companies that for this and this and this activity, Pennsylvania is not a good market for you, because perhaps you could look at other states. So we have frankly told that is not the say that we will tell you that everything must come to Pennsylvania, but I will be able to only say that this doesn't sell well in Pennsylvania. That much I can tell you.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I think I have your email address. We'll reach out to that.
Sure.
I'll send a mail to your email address and we'll take it from there. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Raghavendra Kulkarni, please go ahead, sir.
Thank you for the session, and specifically we offer avionics engineering services, and in this area, in the last couple of months, we have received inquiries, particularly from PA, that is Pennsylvania, and then Texas, TX.
Uh-huh.
These are customers who are known to us for quite long time.
Mhm.
But right now, in the new entity that we have begun as entrepreneurs in last couple of years,
Uh-huh.
we don't have present in any presence in US in terms of the entity, business entity.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So in such a case where there is possibility of projects which can be done by an engineering firm in India without having a business entity in US, how is the situation? Like, do we need to create an entity
Yeah,
We
we are
have lost
losing.
you.
as
Yeah.
Mr.
international
Shekhar,
contract engineers?
No, sorry, we lost you. Whether it is from the possible, from there we lost.
From my many visits to US,
no. Can you repeat, please?
Sorry,
any
we
angle
lost
you
you.
can answer, and then
There was breaks in your questions.
Yeah, we couldn't hear
Can you repeat
completely.
the question? So the last portion, please. You're talking
okay,
about individual
I'll just
entity.
remove my head. Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go
Right
ahead.
now, we are able to hear. We want the complete question.
Okay, so
Otherwise, you can write in the chat box.
you are not able to hear me, and I need to repeat.
Yes, yes, probably. Please repeat.
So we in the states of Pennsylvania and then in the
Texas.
Texas, we
Yeah.
have business inquiries coming from customers who are known to us
Uh-huh.
from many years. And being in the area of avionics engineering services, one of the strong support that we can provide to our customers is the engineering services. So they are looking for on-site engineering support in this case. So we need to hire the local engineers available in US and support along with offshore engineering from India.
Uh-huh.
So in the absence of having any business entity at this point of time in US, particularly in Pennsylvania and in Texas, how do you think we can operate? Is it possible that an Indian entity can hire local engineers in Pennsylvania and then in Texas without having a business entity there directly as our contract engineers in US?
I think this is a
This is a
question
legal
of legal
question.
question.
Yes, yes, it is a
HR
legal question.
attorney will be able to answer.
Yes.
But are you saying that you have the customers, but
Yes.
you technically you want to know this? We
No,
can.
yeah, I can say that you have the customer and your customer requires you to have a onshore presence. Is that correct?
We have a customer, and customer wants us to support with on-site engineers, and we
Yes.
also know the engineers who are available in US.
Mhm.
You know, we just need to connect the dots.
Yeah, so I think you need to take advice of an attorney
Yeah.
who will be able to tell. But
Because
I
in
must
the
say,
business, you should also earn money. Because if you
yes,
connect the engineer, he starts working and you don't
yes,
get paid.
yeah. No, I was about to say that there are Indian companies that we work with. They particularly want to establish a presence in United States because their client wants them to have on-site support. So I think that there may be a real requirement where you need to have a presence
You
in
need to check
United
with
States.
your clients whether
Yes.
they expect you to have a entity in US.
Yes.
Because we have worked with at least couple of
Yes.
companies, even from Bangalore and one from
Yeah.
Mysore. Their customer wanted on-site engineers, and that is how they created a
Yeah.
entity. They created not only entity, office, and now
Yes.
that number of people have grown. Top people have come from India,
Mhm.
from their Mysore facility, but now they are recruiting lot of
local
local people,
engineers. Yes,
engineers
absolutely.
or college
Yeah,
graduates.
but nevertheless, if you are not ready to set up an office yet, you need to seek advice of an attorney and go forward. Yeah,
Just to protect your interest, because if
yes.
once you connect the individuals who is willing to provide the service, and suppose he is supposed to be on your payroll, I do not know how you will pay him the salaries.
Exactly, because those will be of US standard, because obviously the person is living in United States. Yeah, I think, yeah.
This you need legal advice. HR, legal HR advice.
So that was a question that I was coming to. Is it technically possible to have, for example?
No,
I am not competent to answer that.
Yeah, to check the technical possibility of it, also you need a attorney who is expert in providing
HR consultant who has the knowledge of these
overseas
regulations.
regulations. Yes.
Me and Supriya just giving from a common sense will
Not be
satisfy you here for the time being, but it will not give you the correct advice. We would hesitate doing that, because this is really, you have got a business, you must be benefited from that, and they will be able to direct. Perhaps if you want, we could connect you with. Do we have any consultants? HR attorney will be too expensive to see whether this is working. I will check into it, because I know US attorney fees are very high.
Yeah.
And I will see if I can find anybody from the consultants, if they are willing to share, or if they have something already published information which they can share with you.
Yeah.
But your customers are
in UPA
Texas will forget, but Pennsylvania customer is willing to have a couple of on-site engineers, correct?
Yes.
Hello? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And that follow-up question is that this event itself being whatever you are organizing, I didn't hear it in many of the MSME channels about it. So, are you working with the Indian entities here who are in the MSME sector, particularly the MSME organizing arms?
Well, this question is to us. Is this question is to us?
To us?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'm just wondering which are the entities, because being one of the MSMEs and being active in the field, we did not hear much about this event itself. And,
well, I'm an invitee, a guest speaker, so I came, and literally until yesterday I didn't know.
So we cannot say.
It is. I'm not particularly working with any MSME organization.
Yes.
I have assisted in a personal capacity. Many times I have gone as a guest speaker. When working as a Pennsylvania representative, it's we haven't particularly partnered with any MSME.
Yeah, we
chamber
work
of commerce.
I would say.
We work with individual companies who say, or who are interested in exploring opportunities there.
Yes.
This is a LUB-K Bharati event.
Yes, LUB-K Bharati is organizing international MSME day, and followed by the overseas opportunities throughout this month, July month. Anyway, exactly. We are having with Taiwan, Netherlands, and other opportunities. Maybe Raghavendra, since his company is not our member, may not be having that information.
Yes, maybe.
We have shared only with our members.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Please do share your contacts, sir. We will get in touch with you.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Is there any questions from the audience, or should we close the session? One last question. Can we take?
Yeah. Srinath, this side can ask one last question.
Yeah, one last question. Please stick to your question.
Yeah. I think this is to Supriya or Sushma, anybody can answer. So when you say your Pennsylvania investment organization, are you looking to facilitate investing in Indian MSME companies?
No, our all focus, when I say we are looking at investments into Pennsylvania, we are looking at Indian companies who want to establish presence, who want to create, any kind of It could be a joint venture, it could be a research collaboration, it could be anything but with Pennsylvania entities or organizations or in Pennsylvania, and that will contribute to Pennsylvania's economy. Yes.
Got it.
Of course, it benefits the Indian
Company
company.
as well.
And
Yes.
I wanted to clarify, the decision of going overseas is already taken by Indian
companies.
They are already
Right.
exploring in the
Yeah.
in the international market, and we go to them as one of the option.
Yes.
Like, I'm
Got
not
it.
going and telling anybody you must export to Pennsylvania or you must invest in Pennsylvania. No, we unfortunately we do not have resources to do that. We will go to those companies who are already in the international market and looking to
Okay.
expand or
Got
looking
it.
to explore.
Got it.
In that
So,
case, we say what Pennsylvania can offer. Yes, please.
So, on your website, or is there any Excel sheet where people can look at which are the US entities which are
No,
wanting
no,
to
we
partner
don't,
with
because
India?
we are
No.
not a membership-based organization. We don't have any directory or any that kind of a
This
database.
is the office
Yeah.
supported by the state government of Pennsylvania.
Exactly. This is the trade and
Oh, is
investment.
it so? Okay.
Yes.
So how does one organization from India wants to have a JV or a partnership with a Pennsylvania state-based company, talk to them, or how do we liaise with them? How do we know, like,
Yeah, you'll
is
have
there
to
any
use
method?
some. Well, ours is not a channel
No,
to do like that.
yes.
You will have
Okay.
to explore. You'll have to explore on your own, basically. There are
Got it.
different methods. In last 20 years, there
Yeah.
are so many, and that is a totally altogether different subject. Like, me
Yes.
talking on that is not
Okay.
correct. How do you engage with the international customers, or how to grow, market your products internationally? It will be
No,
subject like
I
that.
mean, okay, I got it. I was just wanting to know if there are any expression of interest from US companies who want to partner with Indian companies.
No.
Then perhaps we could take up from there. Like, if there is
It
any
will
such
not
list
come like
available, we
that,
could.
because this is
Mr. Srinath, usually the state office of Pennsylvania, they used to send details regarding if any virtual B2B meeting. Then
Right.
we will
Okay.
share with our members. So please be in touch
Right.
with
Okay.
Lagu Udyog Bharati and Mr.
Okay.
Shekhar. So
Right.
already he has shared his contact details.
Sure.
So definitely, if any opportunity is there, definitely we will collaborate. The same thing
Yeah.
from Lagu Udyog Bharati to that. That is how
Sure.
things happen. This is one where the overview of the whole Pennsylvania, how it works, and other things. This is how.
Got it. Yeah. It was very useful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate. Yeah. Thank you.
Extremely thankful to our very, very, very affable and always receptive speakers, Sushama Kanetkar ma'am and Supriya Kanetkar, for their comprehensive session today. We really appreciate both of them for accepting our invite and so readily addressing our members today. I'm sure all our members would have hugely benefited from this session. On behalf of Lagu Udyog Bharati, once again, ma'am, thank you very much for both of you. For the participants, I would like to inform that on Monday, July 5th, we have a session with Taiwan region. This session will be hosted by Mr. Jules Shi, who is the director of TEPI World Trade Center Chennai branch of Thaitra. I invite all the participants to kindly attend the webcast. With this, I formally close today's session. Thank you very much.
Namaskaram.
Thank you. Namaskaram.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you,
much.
madam.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.